Okay, so it's just 2:30 in the morning. And this disruptor, she's in full action. And I had so much going in my mind that I was like, I was thinking about what I was going to record about. I was like, I'm going to fucking record now. And I started thinking, huh, it's weird. Is there really some, maybe it really is like something with some kind of cycles where it is like, I don't know. I can't, I don't know. It seems like it's quicker and quicker though, where I'm like doing it like every 12 hours or I don't know. The other day I think it was like maybe one of them was like every 6 hours. I don't know. But anyways, I had just seen she's having a little thing. And so I was watching TikToks before I started because I was like, ah, it's gonna be interrupted. And so I started watching, it was the very first one I started watching. And I was like, oh, I couldn't even finish it. I have a problem with finishing things. Just so you know, if you send me things, I have a problem finishing things. Usually already like in seconds in, my brain's already somewhere else. It's already showing me what I need to see or it's weird. But anyways, the on this one, so this Judy Green, I think her name is, or Julie Green or something, like she's a big, uh, like the religious people really follow her. She's some religious prophet or something. She's always having, uh, she's talking to the Almighty, and this is the thing that gets me is like, I'm not saying she's not channeling or bringing in good information. And I mean, I think there's lots of people bringing in information and stuff. And it is all in translation. And, some of the things that some of the people see, they may take it as scary. Um, I don't know. I'm not inside them and I'm not talking to whoever they're talking to. But the thing that gets me is like in the instance where I was just listening to her is where they start saying that God Almighty, I'm talking to God Almighty, the one and only, the creator of all. It's like if you, like, if you were more like advanced spiritually, then you would know there's not just a one almighty. There's the universal consciousness. The universal consciousness is filled with thought. We are the thought. We are a thought living an experience, but we are the thought. We are the vibration of thought. We are the creators through experience of thought. We are the mind of the Almighty. So when people try and say like there's this almighty God or something, it's like it is the universal consciousness. It's all of us that make up that. That is fractaled out. So yeah, you could be talking to any thoughts out there, any old thoughts out there. Like, and it is all due on vibration. And you got to go through a lot of fucking low vibration to get to high vibration. Like I've said before, it's like you got to go through a fucking loud, crowded party to get to the back of the room where the quiet guy sitting in the corner is. That is what you got to do to get through your mind. And it's a big party for most people. Big, very distracting. It's going to pull you over here, pull you over there. It's going to tell you this. It's going to tell you that. It's going to make you go in circles. You have to be driven and directed towards a higher state of consciousness. You've got to be willing to look at things always in a higher state of mind to be able to stop playing the role of the victim, to start being the one who's making the moves, not being the one who's moved. When you are in your lower chakras, you're just being moved because you're reactive. You're just moving to other people's beat. Whatever this person triggers you, well, you can't handle a trigger, so fuck that. You lose your goddamn mind. So, that is where you are imprisoned. You are trapped by your own pain and suffering because you don't know how to exist without being reactive to the things that come back up to help you purge out the pain that you carry. So you can continue to trap yourself by using your ego or whatever it is to protect yourself so that you don't have to face yourself. But this is the time of mirrors. This is a time where everybody is like, I'm going to do this. The ones that are going to do it. Not everybody's going to do it. It's like, you know, it's like a game. It's like a leveling up too. It's like, I mean, we're at the championships of the video games at the point of the leveling up that is going on, you know, like this is big stuff. I mean, you have people hanging on the edge of this, you know, every word this person says. There's a lot of these people too, hanging on every word, you know, waiting for the next word from the Almighty Spirit himself. He's up there just, you know, counting our hairs and watching us, deciding who's good and who's bad. It's like, it's okay, I just got my tea, so excuse me while I take a drink. Ah, tastes so good. I keep turning the heater off at night because she seems to be more comfortable. And so last night she slept for a long time. I think that's why I'm more awake or something, because she was like snoring at 6:30. So I started trying to hurry up and go to bed. And like at like 7:30 or something. So I figure like 7:30, because I fall asleep like instant. 7:30, and then 1:30 she was up and uncomfortable. I think I figured it out. Is she has a muscle spasm, like I thought. So she has a muscle spasm, I think, from the front part. I think that her front paws, because those are the ones that she'll lick a lot. That's what she was over there licking. And so I think that they ache, you know, and she, I know, honey, don't move my thing though. Lay right here. How about that? And I'll rub your head. If you just lay right here, I'll rub your head. It's not that big a deal. She acts like, oh God, it's such a problem. It's like, oh my God. She is a queen of Sheba, I swear to God. But I think that she's got like a muscle spasm like up here. And so then it's creating like all that tension going down her whole back. And it's radiating like nerve pain. You know, like sciatica. It's kind of like she's got like sciatica on her long back or something. So, but I can feel the tension. She's got big muscles. And I'm trying to rub them. And it's like, ugh. Man. And she's like, yeah, just keep on massaging me. And it's like, dude, look, I need a massage. So, lay down, honey. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. Okay, so to finish what I was talking about, because there was still the other thing I wanted to talk about that had been going through my mind so much. But anyways, that's the thing, is when you're listening to the people, if they have not reached the point in their spiritual advancement to acknowledge that the universe is a giant set of consciousness based on vibration of thought waves that is going through, and you are able to pick it up as a like an antenna, and your mind can only reach its ability of how high it is in its own frequency. Like, you can't go beyond your own frequency. You come here to experience, to raise your frequency. You can't go out of your frequency. And so I think a lot of people that they're having interference. They're channeling a lot of interference, I think. Especially after hearing that one guy say that from that lecture like 20 fucking or 25 years ago, whatever it was, where it's like, I don't know, it's the CIA files or what the hell. But that there's people who are channeling this galactic federation, which is really a patrol system that is set up to contain the firmament or something. And they're talking to them like they're their holy saviors or something. And it's like, they're telling you what you need to know to stay contained. That's what they're telling you. So I don't know, because I don't listen to all the people who I've always said I think it's weird how people name drop. And it's just because, you know, the people I've been talking to, that it is, you know, I started when I was a little kid. Wasn't thinking about names. I don't recognize them by their name. I recognize them by their energy. And so it is an energy. And that's why, you know, you don't need names. You pick up on an energy. People put out an energy. You can feel when you go around certain people, you can feel their energy, but people turn themselves off from their gauge, their gauge, their internal gauge. And so if you turn on to your internal gauge, then you are more attuned to the souls, not so attuned to the the player, the one that's, you know, that's the avatar design. And because you know, the soul is what's real. The soul is what's the time traveler. The time traveler is the soul. Like, you are a time traveler. We're all time travelers. We all travel through time. We create we create uh, we create things in the space of time. We are the creators through our life experiences. That's what it is. And it isn't like you have to do perfect and be perfect to create the perfect life. No, every experience is a creation. Every single thing that you do is okay, because that is it'd be like if you tried to isolate your thoughts and trying to, which, you know, people do need to start doing that, because you do have a lot of shit going on, because there's a lot of fucking voices in there. But but to be able to, if we could go into every one of our thoughts and then isolate them and say, oh, that one's a bad one. Well, but I'm saying to do that. Okay, so the because you need to go into your thoughts. You need to start recognizing your thoughts. You need to be able to isolate your thoughts. You need to be able to tell the ones that are fucking around to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. Because more than likely, they're a fucking entity type of being. It's an energy. I don't want people to get scared. Like an entity, it's like, it's energy. It's like, it's not something to be scared of. It's trickery. It's black magic. It's like the dark, the shadow whispers. Like, you got to, you know that there's, you got to, you know, be aware of folklore and, you know, trust that that's real, so that you can start understanding, you know, the spirits are around you and stuff. Which I just heard a creepy story about Abe Lincoln haunts the White House. Oh, like, what the fuck? So apparently back in like 1846 or something, they had decided to start doing seances, because this is what's weird. Even up into the 70s, in a lot of these old movies, like, people talked about like, this stuff is regular. Then all of a sudden it became wacky and weird and creepy. The closer it got to the awakening, the more manipulation that needed to be done to make people not trust themselves. But it used to be just like people talked about this shit. But anyways, they would have seances at the White House. Somebody's kid died or something. One of the president's kid died. And so they started trying to communicate with them. And so then Lincoln moved in. And so he was really into it. He was doing seances all the time. He did like 86 of them or something. Then when he got killed, they started saying he got trapped in the White House, even though he wasn't killed in the White House, which doesn't make any sense. Unless he trapped himself because he felt he had unfinished business. And that's what souls do. They trap themselves because they feel they have unfinished business. But you can't finish business once you're out of the game. All you can do is like what our ancestors do, is sit around us and whisper and try and give us guidance to do things positive, to try and put things back into balance that they put out of balance like a while back. And so anyways, Churchill was there spending the night, apparently, and he's wandering around the place. You know, he was taking a bath and having a cigar and a scotch or something. So I don't know. He wasn't dressed, and he went into an office. I don't know if it was the Oval Office or what, but he walked in there, I don't know, to get a light for a cigar or something. I don't know. And he said Lincoln was standing there. He's just standing over by the fireplace. And so it threw him, and he said, oh, I'm sorry. it says something like apologized, and started, making his excuses. He was just gonna, have his cigar and have his bath. And he said Lincoln just looked over at him and smiled and turned around and disappeared. And so he was an apparition. He was just, so anyways, I just thought that was an interesting little story. And there's like so many fucking, there's so many more boys disappearing, more crazy stuff, more like, oh my gosh, so much wacky stuff. And then I swear to God, the boy disappearing thing is to bring the harvest to the front of the thing. So people really, because I mean, traffic, that is one thing. And people don't even know how dark the traffic thing gets. Like, they don't even know, like, when people start being used for rituals and what they do with the discard and all that stuff. But, it all leads to this, the harvest that people are going to have to face. I mean, people have been eating it, so, like, you're going to have to face it. It's coming up. It's going to come up, too. Like, it's going to come up, and then it's going to come up. Like, people are going to be so wretched. Like, they're going to be retching for weeks. Retching, not sleep. It's going to be bad, you guys. People are going to be retching. They're not going to be sleeping. They're going to be crying. People are, oh, God, it's going to be bad. And you just gotta, remind anybody who's around you who's going through it that deep, because it's gonna be painful. It's gonna be a painful purge out of like some dark fucking shit. And when they start purging out, just be supportive. That's all you can do, is just be supportive. Tell them they'll get through it. It's temporary. Feels horrible while you're going through it, but it's something you gotta purge out. You got to release all that, and it's going to bring up a lot of really yucky stuff. And this is one of the things I was going to talk about, was because, as we're leading into the surgery, and it's like, fuck, 9 weeks, 8.5 weeks to go with this shit, this reflection, and just thinking about things, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff to think about. And so one of the processes I was thinking about, I was thinking, like, I got to share this, like through some of my process, like what some of the things, because then it was leading me into other things. And I was thinking this, I think, it is helpful when you go through some of the stuff that you need to process, when you just, hear somebody else, like some of the stuff, what they process, then it kind of, it opens pathways in your mind. I feel kind of like that is something that's going on, is that they have like a certain group of people, like we are programmed. And so we're running programs all the time, and we are programmed for this time. And there was certain words, just like there was certain trigger words that would trigger TDS and stuff. They used that back. There was certain words that were used that wake people up and to get people to think. Just little trigger words. And I think those trigger words are some kind of like a reminder in your soul. It turns something on. It reminds something in you, so it triggers something awake. So there's trigger words, I think, that they're using to get us to pay attention and wake up and stuff. And because there's a group that's trying to help us. This is the releasing. This is the releasing the enslavement, because the enslavement is of the mind. People are so enslaved. Like, it just blows my mind. Really, like, and I talked about this like last week or something, but how big a fucking money-making thing in aging is. I just saw this woman. She's a very, very pretty woman, and her hair was super dark, and it started turning gray. And so she was trying to do different things. And I mean, there's nothing, like, you could put any hair on this lady and she would have been pretty. And so she was getting a lot of attention on the comments, because she was talking about this, trying to accept her gray, and, trying to, go through this as her hair's turning gray and whatnot. And then, you have all these people in the comments, and they're all, some of them, oh, just keep coloring it. Don't go gray too soon, and all that. And then you have, these other people, oh, just let it go and go gray. And so you have all, this, like, you got to just love your gray. And then, so on those ones, already my attitude is like, okay, well, it's mineral deficiency. Love yourself through it. And then the other ones, just artificially keep coloring your hair. Just hide it. Don't pay any attention to what your body's telling you. Just hide from it. And I was like, fucking aging is such a fucking power industry in our world. And it's got people so fucking, because then the woman, I didn't finish the video, because then she started saying about, well, I know I'm not going to look young forever. I was like, I just went in and commented, don't tell yourself you're not going to look young forever, and get a copper cup. Your hair won't be gray anymore. And then I went into a couple people and commented, because, on both kinds of things, the ones who were just, love your gray. I was like, get a copper cup, look it up about mineral deficiency. And then on, I don't remember if I said anything on the colored one. I think both things I had said about, copper cup, mineral deficiency, look it up. And, but I'm in the information plantation out there that they feed. The information that they want to keep away from people is like the information I'm talking about. So the common narrative, the script everybody is on, is one that, I'm just a nuisance. I'm just somebody who's just like a weirdo sitting over there saying ridiculous things. It's like, no, it's not ridiculous. It's real. And aging isn't real. And convincing yourself that you are aging and you're going to look old, that allows you to, when you're going through you're going through some stress, and every day you're going home and with that tension. And then also, I start following another one of these lymph doctors. The fucking lymph, like, that is so fucking huge. The swelling in people's faces, holding the tension, and the losing the elasticity. That is the aging. All preventable. All things that you can take care of. So it's all fucking bullshit. And so, anyways, but, people have to learn to take care of themselves, learn to take time, to do the lymph things, to do the face yoga and all that stuff. I just saw another fucking person, Jennifer Love Hewitt. She went and got, she's saying she didn't get any surgery, but it's obvious that she got some kind of eyebrow lift thing. It lifted her whole, all this. And, I didn't even notice before how she had those little squinty, squeezed in eyes, but it gave her that really cute, like, she had such a cute expression. She had, and this is the thing that gets me, is that was her. That was her face. That was Jennifer Love Hewitt's face. She made that face. It was her face. Like, you could recognize her. That was her. She was the representation of that name, through that face. And now she looks so different. She looks like when Khloe Kardashian supposedly, which I still think half of Khloe's pictures are a fucking filter. Now Jennifer Love Hewitt looks like Bold Glamour filter. Bold Glamour filter must be what they are using in the plastic surgeon's office, like, as the template. Oh, this is the face we can give you. Let's see how it fits on your face. Yeah, if we do this and we do that, well, yeah, we can make your face look like this. And so all these people keep getting like the same face. It's like, yeah, it's pretty, but like, it looks just like that one, and looks just like that one, looks just like that one. Now you don't look like Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's like, I don't know. People get so caught up in wanting to look a certain way that they don't care about looking like who they are. And I'm not saying, like, I've been guilty of the same thing. Like, that's, part of, like, when I'm going through all this processing and noticing and seeing and realizing and stuff. The another one that I had seen, who was it? Because it was Jennifer Love Hewitt. And I had just seen another one right before that. And oh God, and J-Lo, God damn. I swear to God. Okay, so on TikTok, Madonna concert videos will pop up. And they're always off of Madonna TikTok website. Nobody's fucking at her concerts fucking filming it and putting it up on there. It is always her. And so it's always weird kind of things anyways, which I think, you know, it's like obviously it's close. So, and I don't know what kind of, you know, who knows where her concerts are. They could be in another country where it's just all nostalgia and, you know, because she's, I mean, you just go watch the videos. It's like, it's embarrassing. She's embarrassing. It's got to be part of her thing, of her, you know, her takedown. Because all of these people, like, it's going in a direction. Whatever energy they put out is what's, you know, the energy that comes back to them. And so she, you know, selfish, self-centered, like, and she's going out like not in a blaze of glory. She's going out like embarrassing, like, oh my God, get her over to the nursing home. She probably needs her medication. And her dancing is like, could she ever dance? I don't know. Maybe she just did gymnastic kind of stuff. She seems to have no rhythm. She seems like, yeah, I don't, she seriously seems like an old person in some kind of weird getup that is out just, it does not seem like some icon, you know, talented person that has been, you know, on center stage for 50 fucking years. It seems like you should have left the stage like 45 years ago, chick. It's like you're embarrassing. And then they just pay, you know, they promote these people because the people who are promoted are the people who promote them. So the people who will go and speak their stories and tell their lies and guide us towards the cliff, that those people are promoted and put on center stage. And so, you know, that's why you know, Lady Gaga's, yes, sell out, like all these people. And I don't know what's going on with Beyonce. Now all of a sudden she's going all patriot. Her album cover is this total patriotic thing. She's going all country. So I don't know. Maybe they went through enough clones that they got to this one. They were like, well, this one's not so bad. She's not evil. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's really not evil. Maybe she was really taking down all the evil. Maybe she's a good reptilian. Like, I don't fucking know at this point. Like, some of this stuff, we just got to see how it plays out. For them to sit there and now have this fake Kate come out to talk about her cancer bullshit. No, I don't think anybody in the conspiracy community would say that that's really Kate. I mean, it doesn't look like her. It seems like a different person. Like the whole thing, it just seems ridiculous. And who knows if she's already been taken out? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because this is all the play out. This is all the takedown. And just like when you see J-Lo, like she is so embarrassing. Like she's taking herself down. Like, I mean, she's roasted daily, all day long. That's all you see is people talking shit on her. Nobody likes her. She's the only person who likes herself. And there's this video of her going through an airport or something. And apparently in all these videos and stuff, it shows how much she doesn't care about Ben, that she just cares about herself, and he's just like, you know, a purse. Which I was wondering too, like all this stuff, where are her fucking kids? Did Mark Anthony get the kids? They've got the kids the whole time, or are her kids grown? Are some of these kids on super speed, like they grow super fast or something? Like I swear to God, her kids would be little. I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up. I don't care that much. But I was just like, what the fuck? Where are her kids? And I swear, I think Mark Anthony raises. I don't think she could raise anybody. She's kind of like a Joan Crawford or something. There's like Joan Crawford was way up her own ass too, I think. And so she, and Mariah Carey, like there's a few of these women. They're proud to be divas. You know, so she's going through the airport. She has this huge fucking entourage of people like in front, like they've got to clear the way, clear the path. There's all sorts of stories where you're not allowed to look at her, just like Ellen. You're not allowed to make eye contact. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, get the fuck out of here. God damn. So J-Lo, you know, and even when, like there was a girl who worked at a restaurant. She said that she was coming, to have a meal there with some meeting. And so for one thing, she had to send her own cleaning crew. And the cleaning crew had to come in, clean the restaurant. It had to pass inspections. Then after that, she had to have a room. It wasn't just a private room. They had to go in and do extra things to make it extra private, put up all sorts of stuff. Then they get her in her room, which somehow she just like flies her broomstick in there. She comes through the chimney and she's in the room. And so the waitress wants to go in and get their order, see what she wants. No, she's given an iPad. She's not allowed to communicate with the diva. She's only allowed to communicate with the assistant who will tell the order. In the order, you had to have, they had to count the ice cubes. On her sparkling waters, you'd have to count the bubbles. Like you aren't allowed to have over a certain amount of bubbles. And it was like all sorts of just ridiculous stuff. It's like, oh my God, you know, like when I talk about like, you know, in a spiritual world, you should be able to live with nothing and still find peace. It's like this chick can't find peace in a bad situation. This is a fucking what is that? Like they're sucking energy in from everyone that they can, just sucking in, puffing themselves up, sucking everyone. A succubus. She's a fucking succubus. And so she so going through the airport, and she's got this fucking entourage clearing a path and stuff, and then she's got like, I don't know, 6 bodyguards, big giant black men surrounding her and walking out like, you know, and they look just like, this is stupid. Like, who's gonna rush up here? We gotta hurry and get her. We need 6 guys. Like, so clear the path. It's like she thinks she's the fucking president or something. Like, she's trying to build herself up like that. And then she comes walking and she has this giant ass white fur coat. Like, I don't know how many animals died for that coat. Like, I will, like, I know that there's places that use all the animals and make fur coats. Like, you can see some footage like in Norway or something, you know, and everybody's wearing these gorgeous fur coats and stuff like that. And I'm sure, you know, she can go and travel and go get stuff like that. And, you know, over here in America, they have to farm that stuff and brutalize and murder in order to have that. It's not like they use the whole animal and do that, you know. You could probably find some place that does, but fuck, this place is so ratchet. And anyways, but it's like so over the top, this coat. It's so big and it's so huge and white and fluffy, and she just walks like she fucking thinks she's the queen. And she's so full of herself. I bet you she has a fucking filter on as she's walking. Somehow she carries something to filter her face. And all the documentary and these things that she keeps doing, and how much hate it's bringing on her, and how much it's like bringing to the surface about like her this bad attitude and how bad she treats people. And it's got all these people talking about, like, you can go into the search thing and find story after story after story of people who say she's such a bitch. And Madonna and stuff. I was thinking, this is what happens when you take a girl with a personality disorder and you turn her into some sort of a diva where she's just so up her own ass. You surround her with yes men and you create a monster. And another thing too with, what was that? Because it was just popping into my head. Is creating the monster, the personality disorder. Because that's what, you know, that's what, there's a lot of people went to Hollywood with personality disorder. A lot of people go to work every day with personality disorders. You know, it's like, I think it's just a common way that I think most people have personality disorders, and most people need to learn how to get a handle on themselves. And then you have these people out here who are taken in the other direction. They're pumped up, like Kim Kardashian, and she seems to be having a fall too. Like, I think, you know, some of these ones, it was such an artificial, phony, pointless, misdirecting. And there's a whole thing too with J-Lo too, is so I remember, that she was one of the Fly Girls. So I remember her being a dancer on, because I would watch In Living Color, and I remember she was a dancer on there. And I don't know, there's something about um, her and Diddy. So that's another thing why they're saying like she's got this big fall, fall from the top, because she's a part of the whole Diddy crew, and he's got big problems and big problems. Uh, like fuck, people just do worse and worse things when they get away with bad shit, and they just do worse and worse shit. Well, let's see how bad can we go. It's like, well, you're gonna have to face it. You can go as far as you want to go, but you're still going to face it. And, and it's written into his role. It's written into what he came to play. So could go as far dark. And so somehow she got involved with him. I don't know. She's probably like, she was a dancer, social climber, probably trying to get musician kind of girl. And then she got the part of Selena in the movie, and I think it was because her body was similar to Selena. I think she looked similar to Selena or something, is why they chose her. It wasn't because she was a good singer. And so, and Selena was so loved. So, and there's stories about that. People going to meet uh, the actress who was going to play Selena, and how she treated her like they were garbage or something like that. She had no thing about Selena or Selena's fans or anything. She didn't give a shit about them. And and that was obvious. And so then something about, so after she became popular off of Selena, because Selena was so popular because she was so loved, and it was so fresh after she was murdered, and it was such a tragedy, the whole thing. And so the J-Lo took that energy as it was her, and just got up her own ass or something. And she started thinking that she was a good singer, but she's like Madonna and all these other ones where they just use this, they even do it to Britney Spears' voice. They change their voices to make their voices sound better than they do through electronics. Because it's the role they're promoting. It's the person. It's not the talent. Like, there's tons and tons of talented people. They won't promote them at all. The only people they promote are the people who are their voices, the people who, play along. So, anyways, so somewhere in there, J-Lo got together, got up her own ass, and she got involved with all of, I don't know, she just started going through tons of different guys too, and get married, and everybody had to marry her or be engaged to her. Like, I don't know, she created so much drama. She created all the hype around herself. Like, she did it, and there was nothing really to promote. She's like a Kim Kardashian. Like, apparently there's even footage of like when she was getting ready to do a Saturday Night Live or something, and the electronics things went off, and so you could hear her singing, and it's really ratchet. It's horrible. Like, it's like that. I don't know. I didn't hear that footage. I just hear like video after video after video of people talking about this stuff. But I said, all these different people are going to go down. Some people are going to go down very publicly, just like public humiliation. And it's like, it's pretty gruesome. But you can see, I can see, like, these are personality disorders just gone wrong. It's like, you got to get a handle on yourself. You can't just be so up in your ego like that, and think that you are above everybody else. You're better than other people. Like, you can just eat people, doesn't matter. I swear to God, I keep on wondering, like, did I hear this wrong? I listened to it several times, and I kept thinking, I must have heard this wrong, because it was a woman's video, And she just starts it, I'm a cannibal. And, and I don't have a lot of friends or something. And so it's like, oh, listen again, what? Is she saying that? Like, what? And I keeps on thinking, like, is this becoming like where people are just, I, I don't know. There was an accident that just happened, and a guy got hit by a train, and his leg got severed and flew off, and somebody in the crowd started eating it. So that made the news. So I just don't know. Like, maybe that is a part of their plan, because people have been eating people for a while. So maybe it is that now there's something in the food that makes you crave it or something. Because I know that's a part of like the kidney cell thing is used for the craving. I don't know. It is weird. I really want to try and get Stella off of meat though, just because I keep feeling like, fuck, if this is dog and I'm feeding her, like that's not cool. And I don't know, I don't know. I didn't go kill this thing. I wasn't there. I know, how do I know what the fuck I'm feeding her when I know the fucking news and what they fucking do with the food? It's like, fuck. I don't know. Awareness can be, a rough ride. Because just is like, fuck, then what am I going to do? But, I'd rather know because I'm telling you, like, when these people all start finding shit out, it is going to be rough. Just think back of when you found some of the stuff out. I remember when, I think it was 2016 or 2017 or something, when I started finding out about, like, some of this stuff. And it was like, you can't sleep. It's like you're just like, there's just pressure. Like, oh my God, there's kids being killed right now. It's like every second, you're just like, oh my God, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? It's like so stressful. And these people are coming up on the backside of it. It's like, I ignored this. I ignored this. I ignored this. I wasn't paying attention. What was I doing? What was I doing? It's going to be fucking hard. It's going to be real hard. And it's got to be so close. They're making such a buildup on this fucking eclipse. There's so much that they're building. And then they've got this breakthrough little war that they've got at the border. They've got, General Flynn, I guess, has come out and said, too, that there's a Black Swan event coming, which in case you didn't know, Black Swan event is just some big thing that comes out of the blue, just like how September, like how that just like we all got up, got our coffee, turned on the TV, and boom, everything changed. Now you're gonna go through the air like we're being attacked. So it's gonna be like that kind of thing that they're saying. It's going to be big, and that they're going to purposely turn everything off so that we can't communicate with each other because they feel like that was a problem that had happened during 2020, is that we all got locked up, but then we all started talking to each other. And they don't want us to do that. So, but whatever it's going to be, it's going to be temporary. This is the big, whatever goes down is a part of the awakening. It's a part of it's a scare. So that's what you got to go into it. And however long it is these quantum computers are figuring out like, okay, well, if it's 5 days, then the quantum computer said at 5 days, the majority of people are going to be more pliable, more willing to listen or something. Like, I'm not sure how it's all going to go. I just know it's all for the awakening. It's all to get people to snap out of this mind control, to quit being so in the loop, and break free so that they can get to the truth, get to who they are, so that they can start living their real life and stop living their fucking enslaved life. And so, and we're just in the process because there's, a lot of us who would just go and live that, but there's not enough of us yet. And so we're the ones coming up on the backside trying to get people to see, to direct them this way, down this hall, right down there, and get people to start realizing, like, you got to work on you. And then you've got, all these spiritual people who are misdirecting people. It's all sit back, just sit back. Don't think about anything bad. Anything bad, just think the other direction. And, don't heal. Don't, I mean, they'll talk about healing. I've heard some talk about healing, but I don't think that they really get the full thing of what's going on here, because they're not really attaching to their soul. They're attaching to a persona, another aspect, another, look, listen, this is who I am. This is what I'm showing everyone, instead of just, because everything, even your spiritual life, is just a part of you. It's not all of you. You are a lot of things. So, and they try and make it their persona, like they're the guru and all, and I've got this on, and I wear this, and I do this, and I just walk around like this all the time, and I talk like this. This is how I normally talk. I just talk like this. This is how I talk. It's like, okay. You guys go sit over in your group and talk to each other. Put on your outfits, put on your costumes, and talk about things. It's like, don't talk about anything real. Just talk about what makes you happy. How to find your happy place. It's like, so anyways, that's that group of people. But everybody's got to find their own way. You got to find your own truth, your own way to yourself. And it is a battlefield in there. And people don't realize what is going on in there, so they don't understand the battle. And but on one of my things, because this is, so I'll just say this because of what it was, what I was going to very beginning start talking about was on the implant thing, because I was thinking about this boyfriend, which I can say his name, I feel like, because it was like 45, 50 years ago. No, when was it? If I was 26, and now I'm 62. So whatever, that amount of numbers in between there. So that long ago. And I think I was 28. I was 28 and he was 24. That's what it was. And I had 2 kids and was divorced. So I was like, and it was always younger guys, always, the older guys, they're much more pushy. So anyways, but he had told me, and I've talked about this before, because there was a little emoji person or whatever for this popular store, and it was a stick figure girl, and he said that's what I look like. And he told me I look like a stick figure. He told me I look like that girl before, and then he told me also that I look like a stick figure. I just had no shape. And it bothered me. And it's just so crazy, as like what I was thinking about, because like I said, it's like you rewind, you go back and you find the places that, your landmarks, the things that interrupted your thought process, because then it got you to focus on, like, oh, I don't look good, like something's wrong with the way I look, because I was used to being man-salted from the time I was a little kid. Like constantly men all on me. And then even when I was like really young, like 16, and 26-year-olds all. So, I was used to that. And so then, I didn't think, I got told before, like, you've got such long legs. And that, like, I kept being like, is that weird? Like, do I look weird? Do I have like too long of legs? And then, and then people would laugh at you. No, you don't have too long legs. But it's like, people don't realize, like, when you to a mind of a child, where you're just trying to figure yourself out. You're just trying to understand yourself. You're just trying to figure out, what is this thing? What am I doing here? What does it look like? What does it look like to you? I don't even know what it looks like to me. And so, you're just kind of trying to adapt to the monkey suit, and you're trying to understand what it is that you're representing, what you're putting out there. And so, and I kept thinking, I mean, I knew I was like way taller than all of the other girls and stuff like that. And, there was lots of things where I felt like I was taller and I was bigger, and I felt like, all of the girls were really small, and I was just like this, and then, kids would be like, oh, hey, Amazon. And that was because there was a tribe. I was thinking about this today, too. because there's a bad thing going on with the Congo, and they're, moving all these people. There's a lot of bad shit going on in Africa, just as bad as the stuff going on the Strip. And I was watching the video of all these people, leaving, and they're all walking and carrying all their stuff. And I was thinking, somebody who grew up on National Geographic, you feel like, you feel those people, like, them. Like, oh, man. And it felt painful to watch them. And then in that comments too, because that's what I had said. And there's somebody who's like, well, I'm an American, and in America, I'm going to think about America, and I've got my own American problems. It's like, and then there was another one. It was like, God, you just see all these different attitudes come out of different people. But anyways, so that was making me feel, empathy or whatever for those people. But it was weird because of how much I felt like I knew them through looking at pictures through National Geographic. And I was thinking, like, back in the, when we were younger, when we had more limitation, like, the people have everything available to them now through their phones and stuff, and we had such a limitation. We had the the Encyclopedia Britannica, and the other thing I just said, National Geographic. I think Life magazine, but I don't know. I don't think we looked in Life magazine as much, because I think Life magazine, it had a lot of like Vietnam pictures, a lot of bad stuff. National Geographic, it had like other worlds. It was like people standing there with no clothes on, and they just stand there like it was no big deal. And then here we are in America being told, like, cover yourself. And, and that would be like, but in this faraway land, they don't. And, the women stand there. And that's what also, even at the plastic surgeon's office, and he's saying, well, your boobs are going to be, empty, deflated or whatever. I'm thinking, fuck, National Geographic, dude, that's what boobs do. Like, plastic surgeons get a fucking something wacky in their brain. That's what boobs do. And I'm just letting my boobs do what boobs do. Like, I'm just letting them be free. They're imprisoned. And I swear to God, this is imprisoning my chest too. Makes it where it's like harder to breathe. It's like you can't lift it up as much because it's like a weight sitting on my chest. I feel like it's going to feel like such a relief. It's come out. The other day I had this complete feeling where I felt like it had already happened, where it felt like I connected with myself, that it had already happened. And the feeling of emptiness on my chest, it was like, oh my God, that's going to feel so good. But anyways, back to, making the choices of through insecurity, because then people get you so hyper focused on something, so the hyper focusing on, oh, your legs are long. So then I'm just constantly like stumbling around on my legs, like, oh my God, my legs are so long. I'm such a klutz. I'm such a weird looking, you start thinking like that. And so him saying, like I was a stick figure, and that stuck with me. And then it would be, that stuck with me and stuck with me and stuck with me. It's still like, and I'm fine with it now. I used to think like it was just another thing, like I'm some sort of weirdo, like I'm half girl and half boy. Apparently I'm not a full girl because I'm taller than the rest of them, and I'm a stick figure. Like all the other girls, they've got boobs, they've got butts, and here I am, just a stick figure walking around, taller than them all. I gotta be like, hey, yeah, what's going on down there? It's like, God, I felt like such a goofus. But anyways, it just, when you go through that stuff, that builds the insecurity, that leads you into this place where you're like, sign me up, doctor. And there's tons of people, and it's still going on. I swear to God, this one was the one. Oh, this was the topper. Megan Fox. She's out there doing the circuit. I don't know. I guess her and Machine Gun Kelly are off now. She was all out there on that for a while. And, she was all on this promoting twin flame stuff. And this is the thing that's just so ridiculous with the people who keep like trying to promote like twin flame stuff. It's like, if you're trying to reach your higher state of consciousness, the person who you're in alignment with, when you're at your highest state of consciousness, you got to go towards your highest state of consciousness. You can't be at your lowest state of consciousness and pull in your highest state of consciousness. You've got to go to your highest state of consciousness to pull in your highest state of consciousness. So, I mean, you'll know your highest state of consciousness is pulled in because it will come to you. And so, you know, when you see these people, oh, this is my twin flame, it's like, well, you're just there to hurt each other because neither of you are healthy. So you know, if you want to be with somebody who is that much of an emotional compatibility or something, but then you are kind of repelling each other because you haven't accepted and loved yourself. So I don't know. There's a whole bunch of weird, funky things going on out there in the romance world and people's narrative. But so she's on this interview, and I don't know what the interview was or who it was or whatever. And she's done her hair pink now. And so it's always weird to me, too. It's like these girls that have black hair, when you got to take your black hair, you got to bleach it. So strip it of all its color, all its nutrition, and damage your follicle. And then after you stripped all the color out, then put this other artificial color in. And it just doesn't match. It doesn't match your skin tone. It's weird how many of these girls go and get these colors and they just like the color. But it's like, well, it doesn't look good. You know, you can like it, but it doesn't like, I'm sure if you had your regular color on, you'd probably look a lot more regular, like attractive, because you have a color chart. Like all your colors match. Your skin, your hair, your eyes, it all matches. And then when people go and they try and do things to interfere with the match, it will make it like not look right. So yeah, she looked strange. But I mean, she looks pretty. I mean, she's pretty. She's, you know, you can't do anything about that. And so she, you know, looked pretty. But in the comments, everybody was like, "Who is that? That's not Megan Fox. Who is that?" Like, I mean, I'm not that familiar with her. I just, you know, I knew her from like, you know, just Transformers and then the other show and stuff. I know there's people who like love her and, you know, follow her or whatever. Like, I just know of her as, you know, she was, I think that Kim Kardashian was made as the Megan Fox lookalike, because Megan Fox was so pretty when that show came out. She was like new. I don't know if they had been pushing blondes for a while or something. And this really pretty young, a dark-haired girl comes on with blue eyes or something, and she was real pretty. And so it set like this trend. Everybody was all interested. And I think that is when they were like, well, we're going to use that look, create this Kim Kardashian character. And maybe Kim had created her look around that, but it just seemed like all of this new look came from Megan Fox to me. And so anyways, she was in this interview and she was talking about doing plastic surgery to her face. And so first she says like, well, I'll tell you what I've done, but first I'll tell you what I haven't done, because I'm accused of doing all these different things. So I'll tell you what I haven't done. And so she's going through all these different things, like she hasn't done that, she hasn't done that, she hasn't done that. And which, you know, the only things that she says that she has done was that she got let's see, is that she said that she would not do that. A lot of people go and do this thing to their face. I think they must, like, I don't know if they fat inject or they do injections on their bone or something. Or some, I think they might get like a piece of plastic put in there. And so to build this bone, and then they go in and suck this fat out. So it's called buckle suction or something like that. And so she's been accused of having that done. And she said, no, she hasn't done that. Her face is too thin to begin with. And she doesn't have enough fat on her whole body, which I can relate to that. Like I know what she's talking about. There's like, uh, if like I don't have enough tissue on my body. That's like a problem like with my things. Isn't like I can gain weight, like we can all gain weight, we can all get fat, we can all gain fat, but because fat grows. So yeah, everybody can gain fat, but it's the not enough tissue. So it's not like I could go to the gym and try and build up muscles, build up muscles. I would not turn into a muscle, one of those people. Like I would have to take steroids and shit to even get any muscle mass. I just don't like that is what I was taking it is what she was talking about. I don't have a lot of tissue because you can all gain, everybody can gain fat, but it's the tissue. And so she probably, you know, doesn't have, I always have fat cheeks. I still bite my cheeks. But, you know, I mean, I had like these cheeks were all filled in. Like they were, they didn't have the buckle suck in. That just happens with age. And so anyways, people are trying to do that, like make their face do that. And so she said she didn't do that, even though people say that she did all the time. But she got, I don't know why I can't remember. It was like two things. Like she got breast implants and one other thing that was like, you wouldn't think, but she gets injections. She gets injections in her face. And, which, you know, it's going to be bad. Oh, she gets accused. No, what was it? She said something about a BBL. And so she said, I swear she said, sometimes I get accused of it, but I've never had one. I sure would like to have one though. If I could have one of those, but I don't have enough fat on my body for them to go and take the fat from my body. And it may be because she just is skinny, but she, because, you know, they're not going to take your muscle tissue, but they would take fat. But, you know, if you wanted to really do that, you would just have to gain weight so that they would suck the fat out. So, I don't know. I don't know what she's trying to say. Because I think there's some people who go and gain weight to get the fat for them to suck out, to put it into the other place. So they suck it out of one place and put it in another place. But then they put it in the butt and it turns necrotic. And it was weird too, because she even said something about something else being necrotic. But see, these people don't look into any of that stuff where these people are, the fat is becoming necrotic inside people. And then getting all these face injections. Now, like I've having the repercussions of it. And I know that that is a part of why this eye has gotten, has more problems. And moving this stuff, like doing this lymph moving and moving this disease out of here. And I would not fucking get another injection. I would tell everybody, do not get any fucking facial injections. But see, they get these actresses out there saying that. And then in the comments too, there's people like, can you imagine looking like Megan Fox and thinking you need plastic surgery? Like, what does that say to the rest of people? Like, you take this person who most people look at as like this perfect specimen, like her face is perfect, and she's talking about she's got to go get more surgery on it. It's like, and so she said that what she would do though is do all of this eyebrow lift, because she said she wanted to do eyebrow lift because, I don't know, Jennifer Love Hewitt did it too. I don't know if they're trying to make their eyebrows like go out, like something about go, I don't know. I think it looks kind of strange. Like to get your eyebrow to lift up and then go out. So it was dramatic, like, whoa, like, look. I was like, I don't know. It seems like kind of weird. I think like we should be able to move them around and make our own expressions. Like, but, and then to get this extra skin, which I just saw on the face yoga lady. She was just doing so there's exercises for the skin. So you can hold your, like this, and then you do like the different things. Like you just figure out different things of moving your eyes, flutter them, open and close them and stuff. And it moves these muscles back here, up and down and up and down, so that they don't start becoming just droopy and saggy. And, I don't know. I think that a part of why there's so much droopiness and sagginess is the lack of collagen, which is the depletion of copper in your system. So then you have a lack of collagen, and then you go around and you're angry, and your face is getting swollen from all the chemicals. And so then you just think it's aging, and you just let it go. But a lot of the stuff that is going on is, that lack of collagen. Because the more that you replace the minerals and stuff, the more your skin gets better. And another thing too, you can even add in extra collagen, because there's something about, like, with the iron, when you have enough iron in your system and enough copper in your system, then you can absorb the collagen better, so your skin gets better. Like, I'm thinking about getting some collagen and just seeing now what happens, because now I'm all into this. Like, this is exciting. It's like, how far can I go? Can I get back to my 20s? Like, I don't know. Like, this is and I think it's so much of it is in our minds. Like, I think that we can do whatever we want to do. And that's why, when you hear this other lady, this beautiful woman, and she's like, well, I'm not going to stay beautiful. I'm just going to get old and wrinkled. And it's like, you're telling yourself that. You're putting that into effect by telling yourself that. And every day you got up and you tell yourself, like, you're getting younger, you're getting more beautiful. As you train your mind, you will begin to represent what you're telling yourself. So you always will represent what you tell yourself. If you beat yourself down all the time, you're going to feel beat down and you're going to look beat down. If you tell yourself, like, you're great, you look great, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to go around shining, where people are going to be like, oh, God, you look so good. Because this shine comes from inside. It's you feeling good about yourself. So don't tell yourself. Like, I mean, when you live in a world where beautiful women think that they've got to go get surgery to change something, like, what are you trying to change? What are you not beautiful enough about? Like, Jennifer Love Hewitt, like, go change her whole. It was the same thing with Jennifer Grey, because she was, insecure about her nose, and then she changed her nose, and then she looks completely not like Jennifer Grey anymore. And I don't know. I think there's just such a big part of us learning to just accept and love ourselves, and to realize that this is who we are. This is who we're representing. This is who we are. And that we can make ourselves look better by our own mind. We don't have to go out and have doctors cut our faces up and stuff. Like, you can lift your eyebrows by doing doing the exercises and lifting them, and start getting the muscles, and I don't know, go and get your face stretched and cut and pulled back. I don't know. I think it probably leads to more problems. And it's not helping your insecurity. And, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people, like, there's probably a lot of people who tell her she looks really good. You look so good. But you don't look like yourself. Yeah, you look good, but you look like somebody else. Like, was that the gain? Was that what you're hoping for? You just wanted to look like somebody else? And then is that, like, Megan Fox just wants to look like somebody else? Like, but that's the thing too, what I've tried to say. Like, people look at people and think, oh, they're so beautiful. But if you don't feel it on the inside, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people look at you and see. And there is a lot of people who do look at you and they think, because they like what they see, then automatically you've got to appreciate that, or you've got to like them back. That they cannot understand that they're just looking at something that they like just the way it looks. That's all it is. It's just an image that you prefer. And that's all it is. It has nothing, it says nothing about the person. It says nothing about their character. It says nothing about their state of mind. I mean, all these beautiful girls, all these beautiful women, personality disorders galore. and out of control because, when people get surrounded by, you can do no wrong, you're so perfect, whatever you say goes. There's people who feed off of that. And it's going to blow up. Like, this is micro, macro. This is the same thing that's going on with J-Lo is going on smaller levels all around the place. I'm sure there's tons of friend groups that are just, blowing up. And, I mean, there's some that are making the news. They're fucking killing each other. So there's all of this, facing yourself, facing the darkness, seeing who you are. And a lot of people don't want to see who they are. We'll see how long J-Lo fights this. Because, the thing to me would be like to humble yourself, call yourself out, and be like, God, I am up my own ass. Like, look at me. God, what is wrong with me? Like, and if she really wants to feel connected to people, like, you're going to have to come down off of your fucking, wherever you've put yourself, up on the hill where you think that you're better than other people. You can't connect to people, you won't look them in the eye. If you want to connect with people, you have to come down at their level, look at them in the eye, see what's going on with them, get in their energy, talk to them, feel them, so that they, it's not all about you. That's that narcissistic society that has been built around us. And there's a lot of people that have to go through this, like, where they've idolized people. And it is the collapse of all of that idolization and, I mean, it is absurd, seriously, when you see some woman who, looks like plastic surgeons have templates of her face in there that people are trying to go in and represent, to replicate. And then you have that person who wants to go chop her face up to look like somebody different. So it all comes from within. Everything starts from within. You got to do your healing from within. And it has to do with you learning how to love yourself and accept yourself. Like, I wouldn't have this plastic inside of me if I would have been able to learn to love myself. And I wouldn't have to go through all of the, jumping through the hoops. And right now it just feels kind of like, like a nail biter. Like, oh, God, 9 weeks. Like, Jesus Christ, that fucking... They've got big plans here in a couple of weeks. I think it's like a week and a half or something until this eclipse thing that is so weird too, is like the sun and the moon aren't even going to be in the same place. And then there's people saying, well, it's not really going to be that. It's going to be Nibiru is coming through, and that's what's going to cross paths. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that there's all these things are going to happen. Like, we're going to have all this collapsing, all this awakening. And the collapsing is letting go of the world that we accepted. It's not the world we created, even though we participated in the creation of this world, and we're going to have to go through and heal the wounds that got us to be any kind of association with this matrixy, I don't know, it's like an evil world, an evil world of darkness where people just fuck each other over all the time and don't give a fuck about anybody. And it's accepted that that's okay. And so people like find that sides of themselves and play those sides of themselves out. So anyways, that's stuff that people have all got to heal and see for themselves and recognize for themselves. But through all this process, it's all about finding yourself. It's about learning how to love yourself, learning how to accept yourself, learning how to be free and be vulnerable. Like, that is something that I keep hearing over and over. People are so, they are so contained. They're so imprisoned by what other people are going to think of them. It puts you in such a vulnerable state to be able to put yourself out there. But you got to push through. You got to keep trying. You got to be able to be willing to go uncomfortable and, give it a risk, give it a try. And, what, some good could happen. And if something good doesn't come of it, don't give up. You try it again. Go out and show yourself again. Be your true self. Just keep going out, you know. If it's something, you know, that people are all talking and there's something that you really want to interject or you really want to talk about or your perspective, and you keep holding back and holding back because people are going to think you're weird, you know, and if you go and you finally you say it and everybody just turns and looks at you and then turns and just starts talking, look at it as a win. You fucking said it. You fucking said it and the world did not end. So don't be like, oh God, nobody cared. Nobody, oh my God. Yeah, nobody cared. Like, people don't care. People are too busy hiding themselves to care. They don't care. You know, you imprison yourself. Nobody's holding you in prison. We all imprison ourselves. And so, yeah, look at it as a win, you know, and then go out and say another thing, you know, show yourself a little more. Just keep on adding on and adding on to where you start feeling like, oh, fuck that. I can just be myself. Like, who cares? Because you got all these, you know, these leaders in the community who are still out here just really trying to show you how to be a good person. Like, and I say, you got to just get out there and be you. And are you just a quiet person all the time? I'm not. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to dance. I like to sing. I like to jump around. So, you know, be loud. Take up space. Be you. Don't be small. Don't let them contain you. You know, and yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to feel silly. You're going to feel silly the first time when you let yourself, you know, I mean, there's some people who don't even know how to laugh. They keep themselves so contained because they're embarrassed of their laugh. They're embarrassed of every sound they make. Their sneezes. A sneeze bolts out, and they're like, oh, hold it in, hold it in. Like, they give themselves a fucking aneurysm because they're so worried of the sounds that they make. And they, you know, you've got to be willing to be seen and be not just looked at as silly. Just like, oh my God, what a silly sneeze you've got. Oh my God, your laugh is so weird. You know, just be like, yeah, I know it is. Who cares? Like, who cares? Just let it go, you know, be free. Let your silly laugh, let your weird, loud sneeze happen. You know, because the more that you allow that, the less you're going to feel imprisoned. The more you're going to feel free. You are the one holding yourself back. You are the prisoner. You're the prison guard. You're the one who's containing yourself. And it's all due to, you know, not wanting to be embarrassed, not wanting to be laughed at, not wanting to be looked at. But put yourself into the realm of, like, in this world that we live, there's people out there with Megan Fox who think that they need to go get surgery to look better. And, you know, Jennifer Love Hewitt. I mean, there's lots of people who thought she was super pretty. I thought she was really pretty. I thought she was, you know, I thought she was cute how she had those little, I don't know, the way her face did with this smile. And now, yeah, she's pretty, but she looks like somebody else. She looks like Bold Glamour. Everybody wants to look like Bold Glamour, I guess. Like, they got the Bold Glamour template. You want to go in and chop your face up to look like Bold Glamour, or go in and fill it full of poison. So later, you know, that you can be, you know, getting chemo and shit, because that's where it's going to lead to. If stuff does not go through, it doesn't, it's like, I think it is like it's energetically stuck. Like, is everything, because we're not flesh and blood. So it's energetic. And that's why I think that it is effective is this, the healing, like why you have to heal, why you have to look at things and stuff like that. Because it is like the image you're putting out, the illusion part of you, the part of you that is coming out, the representation of you, is you are putting out how you feel about yourself. So if you feel broken, you're putting that out into the world, that you feel broken. You're representing yourself. You're showing yourself as being broken, and you don't realize it, but you are. I mean, you may realize it, but you are representing yourself. And then once you heal yourself, then your light starts shining, and you are representing yourself as feeling good about yourself, and you love yourself, and it shows. And that is, you know, a part of the whole thing is this just learning how to love yourself, be comfortable in your own skin, feel good about yourself. And I think a part of feeling good about yourself is to understand, you know, you are a spiritual being and there's a purpose, that you're here for a reason. You're not some accident, you know, you're a soul. You've come in for an experience. You've come in to shine your light, to, you know, see what's the difference that you can make in the world. What can you do as a creator? And so this is your time. This is your time to shine. And you know, that is, the shine is you. The shine is you healing yourself and loving yourself. And then, you know, the shine comes out of you. You shine like a star. But you have to realize that you are that star in order to find your shine. So it all goes together, and it's all this part of the awakening. It's all this part, this journey to self, this understanding, this evolution, to be able to figure yourself out and to be able to grow and to accept yourself and love yourself and to recognize, you know, like, you're not perfect. You're definitely not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You got a lot of flaws, looks like everybody else, but you got to be able to be like, yeah, well, you know, you're working on them. What else can you do? It's like, you can't be perfect. Nobody's perfect. And, you know, having the awareness of what your flaws are, it gives you something to work on. Like some of these girls with these personality disorders, somebody should have gave them something to work on, because now they're just spinning out like crazy old ladies out. You know, it's like embarrassing. Like, there was somebody who, it was somebody I was married to, and they were really on a binge of really out of control drinking throughout a lot of times. But it was something that really stood out to me one time was they were like stumbling around. They were falling down. They would get to the point where they were puking and falling down and stuff. And you know, and I'm, you know, we're supposed to be adults together. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. Like, that is one thing. If you were in your 20s and you just started drinking and you don't know how to manage yourself and you're falling down puking, but it's another fucking thing if you're a grown-ass adult and you're doing that and you can't manage yourself, that you're just out of control, you're just drinking yourself into oblivion all the time, then you got some shit to face. Like, you got to face yourself. You've got to find out, like, what it is you're hiding from, what it is that you're running from, because that's what it all is. Everything is like, everything is hiding. Even these people, these spiritual guru people who are putting on their gentle so that they can feel like that they're this gentle, loving. It's like, you don't have to be that to be spiritual. Be spiritual, you are a whole. You're finding balance. You're both things. You're not just this, I just love everybody. Nobody loves everybody. Like, you can show love to everybody, but don't go around. And then plus they have a whole other thing too, though, because of whether they're super judgmental on people and tell them, you know, you're not doing it right if you're not living your best life. It's like, this is where everybody's life is falling apart. So it'd be nice if you had some awareness about our cycles and what's going on here and this awakening, you know, but whatever. This is all energies that have to be purged out, and all these things have to be seen, and everybody has to go through their own experience, and their own experience or their own intersections with different people or different experiences that are to bring up and purge out your old pain, your old stuff. So it all works together, and it has a purpose, and there's a plan, and everything is just as it's supposed to be. But it does seem like that they, you know, they've got big plans about that they're going to use this time of the eclipse as like for shit to start going down. And I don't know. I just, you know, in the perfect world to me is, you know, well, I go to get the mammogram on Tuesday. Then, I don't know, something happens. All of a sudden get a big check in the mail. I'll just call them and say, hey, if I paid a little surcharge, could we just speed it up? I'll come in extra early in the morning. I'll pay a surcharge if you come in and put me in first surgery and do that one and see, like, because I don't know, fuck, that seems like so far away now, May 21st, to go through all of this. It seems like they got a lot of stuff going, a lot of plans happening. So I don't know. Just gotta see. And there's another med bed thing situation. And they say it's a Tesla med bed. And they're doing commercials and stuff. And I had messaged and said, is there any in Washington State? And they said, no, they're only in Fort Lauderdale or something. But I still don't think that's the military one. I think that there is, I bet you what it is that there's going to be a necessity, because like the military med beds, like the quantum med beds, you have to be in a different state of mind. I think that I've said this for years too, and I still see it, is that there has to be healing to be done to get into the med bed. Like you couldn't just go take some, 400-pound person and just stick them in a med bed and then fix all their problems. No, they got to fix the problems to see, like, why am I abusing myself like this? Why am I gaining weight like this? What is going on with me? Like, and start healing whatever those wounds are and start going in that direction. Then I think that things will work better. But until something changes in you, I don't think the military med beds will just fix things, like the quantum ones or something, that are, because they work with your system. These other ones, these because they're all quantum too, but they're like at a vibration where your body can heal, but it doesn't do the same things. And you have to be in them way longer, and it takes way longer. Like, I don't know. I think that there will be, I don't know, maybe they will start out the med beds with people like amputees or something. And they'll, start, because I would say a lot of amputees or people who have gone through a disability and survived, that you have had to go through healing. Like, when I got mine, it forced me into having to, you have to make a choice. You're just going to go down or you're going to heal. And so, people who have got some disabilities and stuff, they have been working on their healing. People who are just in the crux of their addictions, like it's food, drugs, whatever it is. It's everything that you can be addicted to distract yourself from yourself. Then you, those things have to be healed. Like, you have to be willing to face yourself. But those other med beds, like, I think you can go in, but I don't think anything will be as effective until you make the choice to heal yourself. Until you are like, I'm going to do this for me. I care about me. I want to feel better. I want to take care of myself. It's that willingness to make a change in your lifestyle or something is when everything starts changing. And then I think things will start changing fast, and that's where people will see their own power and their own control, and that they are the ones blocking themselves. I just think people just don't realize how much they block themselves through their own perspective and their own attitude. So the more that you can break through and understand yourself, and that is what this whole awakening is about, is so that you can develop this understanding of yourself, this communication, that understand your communication, even where, people's hair is turning gray and their hair is communicating to them that there's an issue. And it's like a red light blinking, and people are just like, well, I'm getting old. Well, I got the premature gray. So anyways, it's all this, it's an elaboration of our thought process, of our conscious ability to be able to understand ourselves and to take control of what it is that we understand, and to see our own power, and to quit feeling the victim to this matrix, because that's the only way out of it. Seriously, is to know that you have the power to leave it. As long as you don't feel like you have the power, you're trapped in it. So anyways, and it all starts with learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.